Typical. Hello there. It's a dark evening here in Scotland. I wanted to make this video for the ambassadors for the festival. So this is a video for the ambassadors. Anyone can watch it, but it'll help the ambassadors. I wanted to show you some of the things that you can do as an ambassador, and some of the things that we're going to do pretty soon as we get set up, and will help you. One of our ambassadors asked a question. I think this might help mop up a few questions. I find if one person asks something, it's usually a few people, uh, have that issue. So let's share the screen, and let's go to the website. So here's the website here. So again, if you feel familiar with it, that's great. If you've got it on a small enough setting on a laptop, it will come up with the elements at the side. If not, you can just get 3 lines at the top, and will work on your mobile phone. It's designed as a bit of an introduction. Here's a short video for the 2-minute one. Actually, if you're trying to pitch it, this probably gets the concept over as well as it can. There's lots of information there, and we will be updating that as well. Great video here with Mark Kirkby about volunteer speakering. We've got Jose there talking about meetups and various other events and things there. So lots of information. We really are trying to be as open as possible. The other thing we've got is all these elements at the side. So first of all, on the pages there, sometimes people say, well, who's involved in the project? Well, here are our early speakers. So when we first started out with the idea and concept, these folks were all backing it heavily, and some big names in there, as you'll know. Ellen Grove of Agile Alliance, Diana Larson, Daniel Mesick, lots of people there. Okay, so and that's just our early ones. We've got much more, and we'll take you through that in a bit. Next thing is the festival's principles, and again, there's 9 principles. We're putting them into picture form, and you can use those as going around. Probably just as well going through those principles. So first of all, it's not a conference. So lots of people think this is a conference, and we're going to try and shift their bias away from that, because what this is it's almost like a series of local meetups that are all coming together. And because there's a series of local meetups, that allows us to scale some things up across the globe and make some interesting bridges. It's free, so everything that we're doing is free. We're going to try and if there's anything that needs to be funded or find some money, we're going to try and help with that. And again, as an ambassador, you might be involved in that. So someone might ask to perhaps set up a meetup or something. So we can help with that. So if they've never had a meetup before, they'd like a meetup license and things, we can help with that. Locally created. So again, this is where the ambassadors come in. And if you're, I guess, a kind of ambassador for North America, locally created, it kind of means probably a couple of layers below that. And it's probably, even within countries, states like California, you might have a few ambassadors and they're doing things in, San Francisco, San Diego, Los Angeles. It's just such a big space. There's so many meetups and so many people and so much activity. You would want to split that up. But we're leaving the decision on how that happens locally. So we're not imposing that. That's not anything like that. Globally connected. So, again, with, we want that. We're going to have a central, we've obviously got the central brand, but we want that created locally. We'd like some help with translating that as well. So even this principles document, if we get that into French and Spanish and other things, that would be wonderful. As we're a volunteer association, we would be looking for people to kind of nominate just to do that. And again, going around to the local meetups and registering them. They don't have to do anything in English either. It can be in any language they want or anything they want to do. Again, ambassadors will be sporting with the voluntary speaker database, directory, and I'll show you that. And that's really like a telephone directory where you can get speakers in. And we're going to try and get 1,000 speakers on that. There's a big drive on speakers soon. We can just help on how to set up meetups and just facilitating things. Agile Alliance has offered to help people set up new meetups, so that's great. And they've also offered that if we need to have like 500 over 500 person Zoom. They do have some of that we could use for some of our bigger events. So again, lots and lots of help from different people. Okay, so accessible and inclusive. Again, it really is open to everyone. We're not going to push ideas out. We're not going to accept anything that you know. If you can kind of dream it and plan it and build it, you know, that's great. Another thing is that, you know, we're going to record things. If we've got really big events, we'll broadcast them on YouTube and things, so anyone can go to it, and we'll also have them recorded so people afterwards can watch. Community funded. We're going to try and keep the cost down and keep the cost at local level. So most meetups and organizations and companies have their own ways of doing things anyway. So if we can just use that to do things, then the cost shouldn't be great. In fact, if we could do this with no cost, I think that would be like my favorite badge of honor. Again, you know, sometimes speakers will say, you know, we'd like a fee to speak. Well, not really. It's a community event. We're not charging the community, especially at this time when so many people are at work, and the fact that we're trying to make this global. So we don't really want to price things that only you know, people in the US can do. So yeah, you know, as free as possible. So volunteer speaker powered. I mean, again, I think that, you know, those volunteer speakers are going to be amazing. You know, big names, small names, people have never spoken before. You know, it could be wonderful, absolutely wonderful. There could be so much material produced and so much insight and interest, and the ideas are going to be snapping off each other. It's going to be like a collider of ideas and innovation, and that's going to be amazing. So self-navigation, build your own experience. So what we're asking the audience to do is really self-navigate. So they go to the directory, and I'll show you the directory in a bit, and they pick off what they want to look at and what they want to do. And what we're hoping out of it is going to be long-lasting friendships, perhaps new partnerships, perhaps new ideas and innovation coming out. Yeah, it would be lovely if in 5 years' time people kind of trace back some of the new ideas that are coming out back to this event where they heard something or learned something or got involved in something. So yeah, that's the kind of the overview concept of it, and what we're trying to do and what we're trying to get out of it. So in the website as well, there's some progress updates. I must admit I haven't done that yet. I need to do it, but been kind of creating original content and not having time to do the update. Okay, so we've got our program of activities, and if you go there now, it hasn't got much in it. So one of the things we need to do is start getting those things in. But our first event's there, and that was our test and learn, so we can do it. And in the program there, we can see that future work explores the future of Agile. There's a panel discussion there, showcase reflection, explains that, and actually you can click on that link and book the event. So, and I think there's still some spaces. Yeah, it says 54 people attended there. So that's completely handled and booked down there, but it's actually in the festival and as part of our event. So that's the way that we'd like things to work. Okay, let's go down, and there's a propose your activity, and if you go to propose your activity, we're really saying there's 4 ways to do that. So if you want to do something, you can actually just register as a speaker. So maybe you've done lots of talks and you just like to talk around the world, you'd like someone to book you, well, register there, and you can actually join the voluntary speaker directory. Second thing is you might be a bit stuck and you're not sure what to do. Well, just click request for help, and you know, someone will come and help you. The other thing is you can register an activity or an event you already set up. So this could be a meetup who's got an event, and you just get them to register it here. And in the form, it takes through all the details that we can use for the board. Or it could be you're trying to do something a little bit more complicated, you need a little bit more help. So that's the 4th option. That's for the more complex one. So really, if you just want to speak, just go to this the voluntary speaker database. If you're not sure what you want to do, just go to help. If you know what you're doing and you can book it, just book it. And if you'd like to propose something and maybe get more collaboration or other people to help you or things, certainly the 4th option there. And there's a video with Scott Ambler takes you through that. Okay, what else would be useful for you to see? We've seen that you've probably seen the Be a Festival ambassador before. And we've got a page here, Be Our Ambassadors, and yeah, I think that'll be filling up slowly. Sorry, we're doing these things manually, so it does take a little bit of time. And over here, we've got the regional section. So what we're asking all the ambassadors to do is to fill that out. So I could, let's take Northern Europe. I can click on there and I can get some information on that team. Okay, so that's going to get filled in. It's a work in progress, and that's great. Speaker information here is where there's this speaker list. So again, try and get as many people in your area and as many people and yourselves to kind of volunteer in there. And yeah, so looking down here, we've got Gabriella Benefield of Mobius. We've got Jeff Watts, Gals Lindsay, Hugo Lorenko, Jenny Jepson, Johanna Rothman, John Jorgensen, Carl Scotland. So there's some fairly big names in there. Luke Holman. And that list is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Tobias Meyer. So any of these people you can contact and get them to speak. Like I said, I'd like that to have 1,000 people. How we've split this as well is the more experienced speakers. If you've spoken more than 20 times, you're at the top, and then it's alphabetical order. And then it's between 5 and 20, and then I've never spoken before. So I'm quite excited that we've got people in there that have never spoken before. So the other thing is, as ambassadors, you will get a list of all the other details and the contact details and links to previous talks and things. But we didn't want that publicly on the web. So Grace will sort that out. But one of the things that we're going to have to do as ambassadors is work out how to share the big name speakers. If there's 60 countries wanting to kind of get big name speakers in, you might have to share it around a little bit. Benjamin Taylor won't talk 60 times. So that's a mechanism that I'd be asking the ambassadors to look at and coming up with. Sure, is there anything else in here we'd want to highlight? No, that's probably good enough. So yeah, and the other thing is, if you've got organizations or companies or things that want to join, then there's a place here for them to register. So again, we're really kind of, as ambassador, I'm asking not so much you to get all the detail off of people, but you to get people to register with the central database, and we'll get all the information. At the moment, that's all manual, but we are looking at getting it improved and made electronic. And the great thing here is, if you are an organization and you do sign up, you get your logo here. So we're going to add a couple of things on here. We're going to add the Business Agility Institute and the Agile Alliance. They've signed up. So that's great. Okay. So that's it. Happy to take some questions. Happy to make some more videos for you. But yeah, so on the video, really that's the kind of things you can do. You can register speakers, register organizations, or register events, and you can get to know other ambassadors. Yeah. Okay, so again, email me any emails and I will send this video to you all. Thank you for being an ambassador. I really, really do appreciate it. Okay.